Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa Buddhang Namami Dhammang Namami Sanghang Namami. Homage to Triple Gem, homage to Bharabante, Guru Bhante, Bhikkhu Sang, metta to Samneras and Upasakas and Upasikas. So now is the time to listen to few words of Dhamma after the puja, meditation. It is a good time to listen to Dhamma so that we will have wisdom and clarity in our mind. Also, listening to Dhamma is a punya karma, a good deed, wholesome deed, which is very helpful for us. It helps us in many ways. Just like the Buddha gave the example of a white, clean cloth, which can easily take the dye, the color, if it is clean and neat and white. So also for us to understand the Dhamma, it is important to have a mind which is clean and purified. And this is what we did by puja and meditation. So today I would like to share you the teaching from Dhammapada, verse number 3 and 4. And this was spoken by Buddha in connection with the story of a monk called Tissa. His name was Tissa. Because of him, the Buddha spoke this verse. It is called Akochimang Awadimang Ajenimang Ahasime Echatang Upanai Hanti Verang Tesu Nasammati, and the second Gatha Verang Tesu Pasammati. It means he abused me, he beat me, he defeated me, he robbed me. Those who hold on to such thought, hatred never ends. He abused me, he beat me, he defeated me, he robbed me. Those who let go of such thought, hatred ends. So this is the verse, and why Buddha spoke this is because of Tissa. And this Tissa, he was the paternal cousin of Buddha. He was the paternal cousin of Buddha. From father's side, he was the Buddha's cousin. And he became monk in the old age, when he was quite old. And since he was from a royal family and he was elder in terms of age, and so he received lot of respect, lot of care and food and everything from the people, right, which he enjoyed. And he would wear a cloth which is somewhat making noise, which makes noise when it rubs with each other. Which means he was maybe, he was somewhat seeking attention, right? He was a monk who was seeking attention, who would love the attention of people. He would love the respect from people, right? He was kind of enjoying all of that. But he was not necessarily a good monk. He was not so much dutiful, mindful, and diligent in his practice. He would always be in the central of the hall like this. He would sit in the hall most of the time. And one time, he would never pay respect to others much, right? He was kind of arrogant because he thought he was from a royal family. He was, of course, a royal family. But once you become a monk, you lose all your social identity, social obligations. Vevanhiyamhi ajupakatoti, which means from today onward, I am no more part of the social hierarchy. You see, these are the 10 reflections the Buddha gave to the monk. In that, the first one is, it says, Vevanhi, Varna. We have this Varnashrama, right? Varnashrama in India may be different, in the West may be different, but at the core it is same. Externally it may be different, but internally it is same. That is the social hierarchy, basically, right? Whether you call caste, class, or whatever, it is there, it's a reality. But once you become a monk, you are above it, you are out of it, you are no more associated with it, right? And that's the reason as a monk we change our name also, and no surname, no other thing, just a Bhikkhu. Everybody is Bhikkhu, which means a monk. Name and the Bhikkhu. So you have to forget your social hierarchy when you become a monk. That's something Buddha asked the monk to always think about it, always reflect. Also, as a upasakas, as a family people, as a upasaka, which means all of you who are not monk, they should also, when they come to the monastery, vihara like this, they should also forget their own social identity, right? They should just think themselves as a devotee, as a citizen, as a human being, at least in the monastery, right? Which is very important because this kind of social identity creates a lot of pressure, lot of it's like lots of a burden. It's like a burden, it's an identity kind of attachment. It is very much an attachment actually, and that will give rise to ego and kind of disrespect and carelessness. So this Tissa, he was still holding on to his own social identity, even though he was a monk. And also, he was also attached to the fact that he was an elderly monk in terms of age. But that doesn't work in the monastery, because in the monastery, your seniority, what is counted is your seniority, which means the one who becomes monk first, they are senior, and the moment you complete 10 years as a monk, you are called Thera, which means elder. Then you becomes elder, right? Your age may be anything, maybe 20. Of course, you have to be minimum 20 to become a fully monk. And post that, it doesn't matter whether you are 30, 40, but your seniority is counted. The the number of year, we call it Vassa. Vassa is, now we are actually observing this 3 months of Vassa, wherein the monks, they don't travel anywhere, right, except for some very important emergency purpose. So when the monk completes, these 3 months, so they get one seniority. So the one who is junior supposed to pay respect, bow down, right? Pay 3 times bowing down to the one who is senior. Senior in terms of the day he became monk, in terms of his monk, we call it Vassa, monk seniority. Your age doesn't matter. You may be 50, but if somebody is maybe 25, he has to pay respect to that monk also, right? So your age doesn't. But Tissa, he was still holding on to his own idea of being senior by age. And because he was very age-wise, he was older, and he looked a bit, of course, senior, and everybody thought he was senior, and everybody thinks that he is senior. And sometime when the visiting monk, Agantuka Bhikkhu, which means the visiting monk, other monks who come, they would just think he is a senior monk because he's sitting in the hall, the main hall, the central hall, and he is there, and they just go. And generally, of course, anybody will think, if somebody is age-wise more, everybody will just assume that he's senior. But then they would, of course, because they think he is senior, they would just go and pay respect to him, massage his leg, his foot, basically, some kind of massaging. He would enjoy that, right? He just take those services. But as a monk, he's supposed to say, just wait a minute, what is your Vassa? That's when you meet a new monk, the other monk has to ask the other monk, how many Vassa are you? Which means, what's your seniority as a monk? That is the rule. But he won't just ask. And because he just didn't ask, the guest monk would just assume that he is senior, right? So he won't say, so they just assume. So once this used to happen on and on, once somebody just asked, one monk just asked, with due respect, he asked, how many rains have you spent, Venerable Sir? Tissa replied, none. I have just ordained in old age. So he just said, how many rain? Means Vassa, He said, no, I have not, I'm just new. I have not got any rains, any Vassa, any. Then that monk was shocked. That young monk was literally shocked. How can, it is considered very disrespectful. It is considered very wrong, and even a kind of sinful, not sinful, but I would say it's a wrong offense. It's a wrong offense. That's what it is considered when you take respect from somebody who is senior to you. It is not at all taken as a good thing. It's almost like your father touching your feet, right? In your culture, right? In the family culture, as a family person, you touch your father coming and touching your feet, and then you will be like, okay, not even saying that don't do it. Then he became very shocked, and he said, shame on you, old man. You act like a senior with so many real elders present. You didn't even greet us or serve. You have no sense of shame. He snapped his fingers and walked away. So he said, it's a shame on you. He just kind of rebuked him. It's like a rebuke. So in the monastic culture, it is allowed to rebuke somebody, right? It's not like scolding, right? It's not scolding, abusing, but rebuking. And rebuking means that if somebody is doing wrong, you can just reprimand them, right? You can tell them so that they improve themselves. They improve and then they transform. Right? You're supposed to do, and sometimes you can do in a strong way as well. But what you are expected to have is a lack of anger. You have to see that your mind is free from anger. Your mind is peaceful. That's what Buddha said. Check your own mind before you rebuke somebody. And it is something that you all can also practice, right? Whenever you want to say something to somebody, to point their mistake, to point their fault, you have to first see that are you first good? Are you not in that mistake? And you are expected to see that are you free from anger or jealousy or ignorance or fear or unclarity? You have to have a very peaceful, clear mind before you say, point somebody's mistake, right? So that's what he said. Shame on you, right? So you didn't do that. So you didn't even greet us or serve. So when some monk come, especially senior monk, so the resident monk, we call it resident monk, right? Resident monk means the monk who are dwelling in this monastery, the particular monastery, they are known as resident monk, right? So they are supposed to welcome them, and if they are senior, they have to take their robe and bowl, the alms bowl, in which the monk eat. It's like a bowl, so monks, they eat in this bowl, which they carry wherever they go. A robe, an extra robe, and a bowl. That's the thing only generally the monks carry whenever they travel. That's the only thing. So they are supposed to take that and, give them water and bow down 3 times, If they are senior, bow down 3 times. So you didn't do that, you have no shame. So he just snapped his finger and walked. He just went away. Tissa was devastated. He wept and went straight to the Buddha, crying. So he was very much devastated, and he, in fact, showed his own royal pride. He said, "You know who am I, right? You know who am I, and why do you? What do you think? You say such things to me." And he just basically spoke in a very pride manner, as a royal pride, in a very arrogant manner. He just said that, and then he cried. He was like weeping. See, so he was very arrogant, but he was at the same time kind of weeping, kind of sad. And he straight away went to Buddha. And the other monks also went along with him because they thought that he will misrepresent them. He may misrepresent the fact. So all of them went to Buddha. Then he just told Buddha, he was very much weeping, almost like crying, and he complained to Buddha, So Buddha asked, just why are you crying? Bhante, Tissa replied, Bhante, these monks insulted me. So the Buddha said, did you see them come? Yes. So he said, yes, I saw them coming. Did you greet them or offer help? No. So he didn't greet them, not help them. Did you ask if they needed water or support? No. The Buddha said, you are in the wrong, you should apologize. So Buddha told him to apologize. So you can also see here how Buddha would deal in such situation. That is, he would generally clarifies, what exactly happened, right? He won't just speak in a hurry or just speaking randomly, but he would generally ask what exactly happened, and he does that in a very question-answer format. That's what you can see here. Then Buddha said, Tissa, you are in wrong. You should apologize. So Buddha said, you are wrong. You should apologize. Right? But Tissa replied, they insulted me. I will not apologize. The Buddha urged him again, but Tissa remained stubborn. So, so Buddha, he, despite Buddha telling him, he was still very much obstinate. He was very much stubborn, you see. And that's something you can see here, that even being told by Buddha himself, right? Somebody, and he was what? He was very old, right? He was elderly, advanced in age, and he comes from a royal family, but still he's stubborn, he's arrogant, you see. So this is something also we can see here, that that just because you are from a higher social status, or just because your age is more, right, doesn't necessarily mean that you are actually high. You're actually big, right? So if you have arrogant, if you have stubbornness, then you are not big, right? You are not actually gentleman or gentlewoman, right? So, but he was still obstinate. Then Buddha said, then the other monk said, Bhante, he is obstinate. Then the Buddha said, not only now, monks, even in the past, he was just the same. So Buddha is saying, Buddha tells the monks, hello, dear monks, he's not only stubborn now, but even in the past. So Buddha knew his past life, right? Then the monks requested, please tell us how he was. So in the past, he was a forest hermit called Devala. He used to stay in the Himalayan forest as a rishi, and as a rishi muni. This Tissa, he was a monk. He used to stay alone in the high Himalaya for 8 months, and for 4 months he used to come to the city to take food which contain, say, salt, because in the forest, say, he would eat some fruits and other things, so you will have, deficiency of this salt. What do you call? Calcium or sodium. You will have sodium deficiency. So he would come to the city. So once he came to the city, and then he asked somebody, where do the ascetic would stay when they come to the city? And then they said the potter's shed. There was a potter who makes pot, and they said that you can stay there. So he went to him, and then he got a hall. That men offered him a hall, a kind of a room, and he went there. Then another ascetic came. His name was Narada, and Narada came, and he asked this potter man. He asked this owner of this house, the potter house, guest house, you can say. And he said, can I stay? And he said, if only the earlier monk Devala accepts, then I will. Then you can stay. And he asked him, and he said, yeah, you can stay. So they both entered the room, and then it was night time. They were about to sleep, and that time Narada, who came later, he saw where is the door and where is Devala facing. Everything he saw, and in the night he had to go to washroom, and at that time, by that time Devala had changed his position, right? But Narada was not aware that he changed his position, and when he went out, his foot just stepped on Devala's hair, all this long hair, jata. And so he said he was very angry. How did you just stepped on my hair? And he said, sorry, master. I didn't see that you have changed the position. So therefore, I mistakenly stepped on your hair. Please forgive me. And he said, okay. He said, okay, you just go. So he went out, and while coming back, Devala thought that since I was in this position, in a particular position, he has this Narada stepped on my hair. Let me change the position. So he again changed the position, of his. But while Narada coming, he was thinking that he was in, because obviously it was dark, so he would have not seen. There was no electricity and all, so maybe he has not seen. So again, when he came, he stepped on his shoulder, because Devala had changed the position. So again, it became a big problem, and he said, how did you do that? He became very angry, and he started insulting him, scolding him. And then he said, I will curse you. When the sun rises, your head will burst into 7 pieces. So this curse, Devala gave a curse, Shapam. He said that tomorrow when the sun rises, may your head become 7 pieces. He become very, because generally these Rishi Munis, they will be very much sort of pride of their own jata, their own long hair. So it's like some kind of pride, right? So he was like that. Then Narada said, if I am guilty, may my head split. If not, may yours. And Narada said, if it is my mistake, then my head may become 7 pieces. But if it not, may your head become split. Hair become 7 pieces. But Narada, he was actually very deep into meditation. He had all the psychic power. He can see many future, past. So he saw that this Devala's head actually is going to become 7 pieces, because he was the one who was wrong, because Narada did not, intentionally stepped on his head or shoulder, right? So in Buddhism, in reality, the karma is such that when you have the intention, then only it becomes your bad karma. If you don't have intention, it is, even though you may, mistakenly harm somebody, kill somebody, mistakenly, it is not karma. You are not responsible. You don't get the karmic result. But Devala was not accepting it. He was not understanding it, despite Narada telling him. You see, Narada is telling, sorry, I have not done mistake. I have not done it purposely, And he was even asking forgiveness. But Devala was like, no, he was very furious. And that's something, it's a big lesson for us, because we, when somebody does something, unintentionally, so we should forgive them, right? We should let it go. We should not hold on to, right? We should let go. We should forgive. It's very important, right? Forgiving and forgetting, is very important practice. That's what you can see here. And then what Narada thought is that tomorrow if the sun rises, Devala's head is going to become 7 pieces. So what should I do? He was compassionate, right? He wanted, obviously he didn't want to make Devala's head becomes 7 pieces. So he stopped the sun from rising, right? He had that much power. So he didn't allow the sun to rise. So everybody were disturbed. Everybody were in trouble. So even the king, they went to the king, and the king was not understanding what to do. And then even after so much of inquiry, they all found that it is because of this problem of Devala. So the king went to Devala and said, he went there, and then Narada said, I have stopped the sun from rising. It is because of Devala. So if Devala asks forgiveness from me, then only his head will not become split into 7 pieces. But Devala was not at all ready. He was not ready to ask for forgiveness. He was very stubborn, right? So the king became furious. The king became angry. He said, he just ordered. He just said, just ask for the forgiveness. Otherwise, I know what to do, right? He just forcefully met Devala to ask forgiveness from Narada. So Devala, of course, he was then afraid of king's punishment, and he asked forgiveness from Narada. But Narada knew that he's not asking forgiveness from his heart. It was just out of fear he's doing. So he saw that still his head will go into pieces. So Narada said, just apply some clay, some clay on his Devala's head, and put him under the water till the neck. He should dip into water till the neck, and then he should put clay on his head, right? And then it was done like that, and then he was put into the water, and then he let the sun rise, and when the sun rose, all the clays that were put on his head, they became 7 pieces, and Devala was fortunately saved, alive, you see. So then Buddha said, at that time, Devala was, of course, Tissa, it is clear, and the king was Ananda. Ananda was also cousin of Buddha, and he was the personal attendant of Buddha, and then Narada was I. So Buddha was Narada, and Tissa was this Devala, and the king was Ananda. So Buddha said, see, even in the past, you were still stubborn, and even now you are stubborn. So after this, the Buddha gave this teaching, which is, those who think that, he abused me, he beat me, he defeated me, he robbed me, those who hold such thought, hatred never ends, right? So Buddha is saying that if you keep on thinking again and again that, oh, this person has done this to me, this person has defeated me, beat me, robbed me, abused me, did this to me, did that to me, then you will never be able to calm down yourself or reduce your hatred. You won't be able to do, right? So those who let go of such thought, hatred ends. So you have to do that, right? So we stay in a family or in a community or in a company. You work in a company as a group. So there will be always some people, troubling you intentionally, unintentionally, or you somehow feel trouble, even though there may not be much trouble. you somehow feel insulted. You feel that somebody has insulted me, right? So sometimes somebody may insult you. Sometimes you just feel, even though there is no insult, but you just feel insulted, or disrespected, insulted, or put down, all of that. So that is something which will happen, which will happen in the world. But that's something you cannot avoid, right? Please understand that as a human being, we will never be able to avoid or to not get into such kind of situation. It is just part of the samsara, part of our life, that there will be somebody who will always disrespect you, insult you, say something to you, shame you, whatever. It is just there. It is just part of the samsara. But only thing you can do is just let go. Just let go of this thought, right? Just thinking that, okay, this is just how it is, right? You have to just let it go. If you don't let it go, then you will have hatred inside you. You will have hatred. And this hatred will trouble you, will make you sad, it will make you, just like Tissa, he kept this in his mind in the past also, in the now also. So if you keep it always, it just stays with you. It becomes your pattern. It becomes your habit. It just comes along with you on and on throughout your life, and always it will trouble you. Always it will disappoint you. Always it will depress you, right? So you have to just free yourself. Just let go of this person done this to me, done that to me, cheated me, these days, deceived me, cheated me, deceived me, or, whether it is relationship, whether it is money, or sometime a position, somebody took your position, whatever. So backstabbing you and all of that. So it is there, right? It is part of the samsara. So what you have to do is just let it go and just move on. Just move on, right? You don't keep all of this in your mind. Of course, they will keep coming in your mind, but you always have to make an effort to just withdraw. Just let them be. Just drop them. The more you drop them, it's like a burden that has gone. Otherwise, you are carrying, wherever you are going, you are carrying that grudge inside you. Something happened very long time in the childhood, when you are not even born, maybe, or sometime just after you are born, or maybe at any point in your teenage time, or somewhere in your 20 or 30. Either you blame on your parent or your uncle, auntie, your pupa, nana, nani, and your relatives or some of your friend. So teacher, colleague, so many other people. So just let them go, because that will free you. And if they had done something wrong, it is their karma. It is their karma. They have to pay the price for their own karma, right? So you don't need to so much worry about their karma, the wrong that they do. Of course, you have to defend yourself. You have to, of course, make sure that you are no more cheated or deceived. But at the same time, it will somehow happen, right? Somehow it will just happen, despite all your effort, despite all your caution and every kind of system you put into place, but somehow, somewhere, it just comes in, it just slips in. So you have to let it go. So this is what Buddha told Tissa, and after hearing the past life story, Tissa somehow realized, then only he realized, oh, I've been like that in that time also. And of course, by that time, his anger had subsided to almost normal. And then, after hearing this, Tissa, he was transformed. He realized his mistake. He accepted his mistake, and then and with this teaching, many people there, many monks and other people there, some of them achieved enlightenment after hearing the teaching. Many of them got benefited with this story of Tissa. So this is a very important teaching for us. Also, it is very much relevant today as well, because we all are a human being. We all experience this in our life. In fact, every day maybe, most of the time in our life, we just feel it. We just go through it. So we have to keep practicing this letting go. Just let go, forgive and forget. Khamana bhava, sahana bhava, khanti. Khanti means patience. And Buddha said, khanti paramang tapo titikka. The tapo means tapasya. Patience is the highest tapasya, austerity. See, we all talk about tapasya, right? Some Rishi Muni doing tapasya. But Buddha is saying, if you can practice tolerance, if you can practice patience, that is the highest tapasya, sadhana, right? So it is something you need to practice. So if you can practice this forgiving, forgetting, just forgiving, right? Just letting go, then you are free. Then you you actually avoid a lot of unnecessary drama in your life, a lot of unnecessary waste of time. You can save a lot of relationship, because when you are stubborn, when you are arrogant, anger, hateful, then, you will lose many relationships. Many relationships will be lost if you are impatient, if you are not letting go. So therefore, we have to let go, right? So that's something we need to practice in our relationship. So as you do this week, as you spend this week, every day morning, please do 15-20 minute breath meditation, and then you tell yourself that today I am going to practice patience whole day, right? Whether in the office or on the traffic, some vehicle and all, and with my colleague, my boss, and my parent, my siblings, and some relatives, some chacha, chachi, nana, nani, all of them, and some friends, and everyone, right? So I will practice patience. I will just let go. I will I will practice let go. I will forgive, forget. So just tell yourself every morning, right? After you do meditation. Or you can do 10-minute breath meditation and then 10-minute metta meditation. Today Bhante taught, right? Metta meditation, that is loving kindness meditation. And after that you tell yourself, this week, whole week, I am going to practice patience. I am going to practice tolerance. I will try my best to be calm, to be peaceful, to be, to be unaffected by some unpleasant voice, unpleasant behavior from somebody, or somebody not respecting you enough, or not somebody loving you enough. Maybe some of your, if you're a husband, wife, they don't say good morning or something, so you're upset. So I will just be calm, I'll just be peaceful. So tell yourself this week. So that will be, at least for this week, you can practice. Just even 1 week is a good day. In fact, Buddha says that, even 1 day of diligence is great. He said 100 years of non-diligence, non-mindful is better than just 1 day of being mindful and diligent. Right? So at least 1 week this practice. So this is the practice for you for next 1 week. This is the dose for you. This is the food for your thought, food for your mind. And please practice it. And till the next week, so we will see some other teaching, some other practices as well. And remember this story of Tissa, how our own habit will follow us, life after life, until we change it, right? So if you have a bad habit, it will come along with you, life after life, and it will trouble you. It will give you difficulty. It will prick you. It will, trouble you. It will depress you, disappoint you, all of that. It will make you to cry. You see, Tissa, even at that age, he was crying. Right? So that is something very pitiful, right? Being advanced in age, again crying for some silly reason, right? It's not like a very big thing actually, right? It's not like he lost his father or mother or something. He was just for some small thing. So when you are too impatient, so even for smaller thing, you will be disturbed. You will be confused and you will be unhappy. So we can practice that throughout this week. So with this, I conclude. I wish all of you good health, peace of mind, and happiness. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.